So as promised, I said I'd come back and show you how to make kefir. So first of all, you need some kefir grains. So there's these little things here. Now you can probably get them from Bin or any health shop. Probably best to get it off somebody who makes kefir themselves, because it's really easy to increase your grains. So that's what they are. And what they are is they're like a SCOBY. They're a form of bacteria and yeast. Now, like with all bacteria needs moisture. It needs a food source, and it needs an ideal environment to grow in. So we are going to create an environment for the kefir to grow in. Now I'm using water that is non-chlorinated. Reason being that chlorine kills bacteria. We want to encourage this good bacteria to grow. And to encourage this bacteria to grow, to encourage this bacteria to grow, we have a food source, which is sugar or raisins. Kefir also needs a source of minerals, so that's why we've got our molasses that's got calcium, potassium in it, and my little secret is I put a pinch of diatomaceous earth in it, and that's accessible from Bin. Some people use a pinch of baking soda because kefir doesn't do, or supposedly doesn't do well in too much of an acidic environment, which is why you've got to change your kefir water every couple of days, depending on how warm it is. So you'll know it's ready when, oh yes, I use raisins as an indicator to know when it's ready, because when it's ready, they float up to the top. So anyway, I've got a couple of brews of kefir. I can't tell you the exact measurements because I've got a couple. Oh, bread's ready, because I've got a couple of batches that I do. Just a second, I will show you my bread. See, there's the rewana cooking, and I've taken one rewana out. So rewana is made from yeast derived from potato juice, cooked potato juice, and it's created a bug or another form of bacteria which creates the fermentation process. Here's my other bread that I cooked earlier. Anyway, back to the kefir. Sorry, somebody will be annoyed that I diverted there. So anyhow, I've tipped my sugar in. I'll put up a recipe so that you can see some proper dimensions. A better ratio to ingredients. I just put a little dollop of blackstrap molasses in. Here goes my pinch of diatomaceous earth, because our brew needs minerals. This has got diatomaceous earth as a source of silica. Hasn't killed my bacteria. If anything, it's enhanced the growth, and I've probably got too many granules of grains in there. So I'm mixing to make a brew. Why do I do this? Good for gut health. So quite often our immune systems are ravaged by antibiotics, the modern diet. It consumes the sugar, converts it into fructose, and don't worry about that, that's just a little bit of the molasses at the bottom there. Converts it into fructose. If they need to be fed a lot and very regularly, so probably no more than 2 days when you've got your grains up and running very well. When it's really cold, it may take a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just dip it in there, and that's pretty much it for the next couple of days. Just check it. I've got a piece of ginger in there. It can withstand ginger. And I throw a couple of these in there. And there we go. It should be nice and happy in there. And these little guys will keep growing. And how I know that they will keep growing is that because some of them will start floating when they grow. And then the level of kefir grains to the jug will come up. So with your kefir, don't go rushing out and drinking a whole lot at once. You do need to accustom yourself to fermented foods, and the fermentation, or the bugs that are in, the beneficial bugs that are in there, will also depend on what sort of bugs you've got in your environment too. So, and they say that we all used to our own bugs, but anyway, I'm going off on another tangent. So, yep, 2 days, brew it for 2 days. You'll see little bubbles floating up to the top. Your raisins will start floating. One's floating already, but I'm just not worrying about that at the moment. And then some of your grains will start floating. You'll notice there may be a bit of a fizz happening. And then what you do is you bottle it, and brew it or ferment it again. So you're taking it through a second fermentation. On that second fermentation, you can add a flavour to it. Ginger's a favourite of mine, lemon ginger. I haven't experimented with any other flavours yet, but my family love it. So yeah, do get yourself acclimatised. Don't drink a whole heap at once. Start off small, and when you find that, well, I know with my family, demand does not meet the supply, so my brew goes pretty fast. Anyway, so happy brewing. This is water kefir. Do not confuse it with milk kefir, which is different. You can't convert a milk kefir to a water kefir, and vice versa. You can, although, use it for coconut water. So this is my coconut water kefir. I'm just in my experimental stage with it at the moment. I see that all these things are floating, but I just want to leave it for one more day. So I started it last night, and already it's quite prolific, my kefir granules. So I'll try it again tomorrow, and probably bottle it tomorrow, and I may just recycle my grains. As I said, these things get really hungry for sugar. They eat all the sugar up, and they make probiotics for your tummy. Anyway, happy brewing, possums, and look forward to seeing some of your water kefirs. Bye.